Hello everyone, in this video we are going to talk about the new Extinction challenge mode, what it entails and what classes would be best for this particular challenge run. So we can have a look at it here. There's this new Extinction difficulty, and this essentially gives the description of what it entails. It's basically on extreme, coupled with these additional modifiers that you can see here. And you can think of it as being a 5.5 or 6 skulls difficulty. We'll first go through quickly what is mentioned here, and then we'll cover some hidden mechanics that are not properly explained or mentioned from this. So essentially we get fewer HUD elements are displayed, so limited HUD, and this includes your teammate's health, can't be seen, you don't see your sprint and melee stamina, there's no weapon reload bar and crosshair. There's also no big plus sign when a teammate gets pinned or incapped. They will just be outlined in orange, which is much harder to see. There's also no respawn timer, as you can see. It's only possible upon reaching checkpoints. So this means if someone dies during a final defense, you'll be down a player until the end. So it is very important to try and keep everyone alive. And then now we'll move on to the other mechanics that were either not properly explained or mentioned. So first, the Zeeks are now tougher to kill, but we do not really know how much more health they have as compared to extreme difficulty. So I did a test and it seems like there's a difference in body and HP. I tested this with the number of pistol shots needed to kill lurkers with headshots and normal zombies with body shots on extreme difficulty, extreme plus class weakness, and on extinction difficulty. And these are the results. With class weakness, your damage gets reduced by half, so naturally the Zeeks can be thought of as having twice the health, and it does reflect the test because it takes 12 body shots for zombie kills, and for lurker kills with headshots it takes 3 pistol shots. However, on extinction difficulty, the Zeke takes 9 body shots to kill, and lurker actually takes even more headshots, which is 4 to kill. So if you were to use extreme difficulty as baseline, class weakness actually gives zombies 2 times more body and approximately 2 times more hit HP as well, whereas extinction difficulty gives about 1.5 times more body HP and somewhere between 2.5 to 3 times more hit HP. Because the numbers are rounded, so this is just a rough estimate, but we do find the Zeeks on extinction difficulty requiring more headshots to kill. So this also explains why Juggernaut feels a lot tankier, since their weak spot is the head, which now requires a lot more shots. Number 2, it is mentioned that you get infected when Zeke hits you, and this also goes through your temp health. However, you don't always get infected when you get hit, and it appears to be random. So I tested this a little by taking 40 hits in total from zombies, and it seems like I get infected about 35% of the time. I'm not sure if this is a bug, but yeah, at this stage we are not getting infected from every hit. Number 3, we have an ammo reduction of 25%. This is not stated in the details, but you can see it when you start the game. Your magazine is now 25% less. It is not a big issue in general, because during defense sections you'll be near ammo crates anyway, but in maps with say longer traversal sections, it is possible to run out of ammo. If you consider that zombies are tankier as well, so they do take a lot more shots to kill. Number 4, you have a 50% reduction in stamina, as shown in this test. With a full stamina bar, we were only able to sprint half the distance as compared to extreme difficulty. And this is important to note because when you're trying to get away from zombies or you're rushing to revive a teammate, this might affect how far or how quickly you can to get to that point in particular. So it is probably best not to select perks that can reduce your sprint stamina further. For example, Vanguard has a Juggernaut perk that increases your health but reduces your sprint stamina. Number 5, I've read others mention that the accuracy of weapons are reduced, and when I initially played this difficulty it also felt the same way. But I did a quick test, by holding down the fire button with both the AK and the SMG. You can see that there's hardly any difference in the bullet spread, and the recoil also seems to be about the same. So I don't think there's a change in the accuracy of the weapons. It could be because there's no crosshair, so it felt less accurate. So hopefully this helps you to understand the difference between extreme and extinction difficulty. And next, I'll briefly cover some optimal classes and builds that can be used to better deal with this new Extinction difficulty. So we'll first cover the DPS classes, and we'll look at Gunslinger first. One of the more important perks will be Frontline Supply, and this essentially improves your ammo efficiency to counteract the loss of ammo on Extinction difficulty, but it does require you to go consistently for headshots. Another very important perk is Solid All Out. Essentially, it gives you explosive rounds on your secondary weapon, so you can use it to clear specials which are now much tankier easily. And we'll normally couple this with the Switcheroo perk to give the additional damage boost, just to kill them even quicker. And one important thing to note is that PDW is highly recommended because it has the Ghost perk, which allows you to go masking when you get hit. Because there's a chance that you get infected when the zombie hits you, and if it does, you can use your PDW to get the masking effect to disinfect safely. And of course, we will couple the Senjata PDW with the Tier 2 primary shotgun, and this is essentially one of the strongest Tier 2 weapons to start with because of its high weapon penetration. It can shred hordes easily. And Gunslinger also has the Warface ability to grant firearm damage boost to the team, and this essentially allows you to deal with the tankier Zeeks and specials more effectively. So next up we have the Hellraiser class. If you had a look at my special killer build pass, we are essentially using this more explosive damage, more damage to special zombies, and the improved NGL to allow us to kill specials quickly. Because the specials are now tankier, so with this build, we will still be able to two-shot Bulls and Juggernauts, which is pretty effective. And coupled with the free refill tree perk, since we are mainly dealing with specials, there will be a bigger chance for us to drop more MGL spawns, and this will allow us to, more likely to have excess MGL shots that we can also use for swarms and pyramids. So essentially, your role as a Hellraiser is mainly to deal with specials quickly, so your other teammates can focus on the swarms. And for our last DPS class, we have the Exterminator. So Exterminator also has damage boost during swarm attacks, so you have 25% from Firestarter perk and an extra 25% from the Daredevil perk, so essentially 50% more damage during swarms. So this sort of counteracts the tankier zombies and specials as well. So there are two builds that you can use, either the Claymore build or the Molotov build. Generally, I prefer the Claymore builds because you have more of them that you can use. You replenish one every 37 seconds, and they all have a higher kill cap. You can also cover multiple spots at once. So for me, I find that this is a much more effective build as compared to the Molotov option, but it's up to preference. So yeah, essentially Exterminator is also very effective during swarms and big hordes. You have the multi-shot rocket launcher that kills a lot of zombies. You also have the third hand perk that allows you to instantly reload your primary weapon. And because you can also start with the tier 2 shotgun, which is insanely good at shredding hordes, you can match this with the third hand perk, so you don't have to manually reload your shotgun and you can constantly fire it. So one thing that can be changed here is either you go for temp health or the masking effect. Generally in squads, I prefer temp health, as if you are masked, all of a sudden the zombie aggro will be redirected to someone nearby and they can get caught off guard. So I usually use Cloak and Dagger if I'm playing solo, and I'll use temp health if I'm playing with a squad. Now then, let's have a look at the support/utility classes. So we have the medic class, as you know, because now there's no respawn timer. Once a teammate is dead, they can only respawn at checkpoints. So we want to try our best to keep our teammates alive, during defense sections. And medic is definitely a very viable and useful class to do so. You have your long range teams to keep teammates healthy. Of course, because we are using the masking steams here, you gotta be careful that if you mask someone, the zombie aggro will be redirected elsewhere to nearby teammates, so you gotta keep a lookout for them as well. Because of the limited HUD, when a teammate is down, you won't see that big red cross anymore, so you do have to be aware of where your teammates are, and keep a lookout for that orange outline. And because now you cannot track your teammates' health anymore, it is harder to determine who you need to heal or who requires the stims. But yeah, essentially it will be more effective to play medic in a squad with comms, because then you'll be able to communicate on who needs healing and who needs the stims and who needs the support. And next up we have Dronemaster, and I find that Dronemaster is potentially one of the strongest class right now for Extinction difficulty, mainly because of this splasher perk, which allows your quadcopter or your drone to disinfect you. And this works for the infector spits, for the broken virus sample, as well as the Zeke hits infection on Extinction difficulty. Even though the infection rate is kind of random, but being able to disinfect automatically is definitely a big plus. And also Dronemasters have, reduction in 100% reduction in friendly fire, which is always useful on Extinction because there's no outline of your teammates. And another good perk that I find is useful is the clear perk here. Essentially, a player that's incapped will be revived by the drone automatically with a temp health boost. So this helps to keep them alive for a while they get into a better position. So because there's limited hearts, sometimes you don't see a teammate that's gone down if there's a lot of things going on. So the drone can just help you to revive a teammate automatically, which is definitely the big plus in my opinion. And you also have the improved payload that allows you to kill boosts and jugs quickly with explosive. So this is also a pretty good option. So there are two ways you can play Dronemaster, either with the pistol or the stun drone. The stun drone is a more defensive option, and stun doesn't work for juggernauts, so generally I prefer the pistol, but it's up to your preference. You can also go firecracker if you want, but I find that firecracker drone usually runs out fairly quickly, and you do need supply bags to kind of keep it up constantly. And so generally I prefer the silent drone, and because Zeeks are tankier, the drone won't actually kill them quickly as well. They can just help to weaken the zombies so you can finish them off with headshots more easily. So this can in a way help you to conserve your ammo as well. So yeah, it is a good all-around class and it works really well for Extinction difficulty right now. And then we have the ammo fixer. So I'm a little bit on the fence with ammo fixers. The first thing is explosive ammo does help you to kill specials quickly, especially because now they're tankier, even for zombies, which now requires more than one headshot to kill. And it does allow you to have ensure that your whole team is stocked up on ammo. The downside with explosive ammo is that you get 0 weapon penetration, so it is actually quite bad for pyramids and swarms, because you do need weapon pen to clear like a stacked pyramids quickly. So there are both advantages and disadvantages to this, but in general I would say ammo fixer is pretty decent, especially during traversal segments, and you can always kind of time it right when using the explosive ammo. So for example, if you're shooting at a swarm, you can just shoot normally with your normal ammo, and if you see a special spawn or a juggernaut running towards you, you can pick up the explosive ammo and then use it on the juggernaut. So, and then wait for the explosive ammo to run out and then carry on clearing the swarms with your normal ammo. So that's kind of a way to do it. And for ammo fixers, we have the healing ammo box here, which I generally prefer. And then for this one is the unlimited duping build. I wouldn't go through too much detail, but yeah, ammo fixers are, I would say they are pretty decent in Extinction difficulty, but do remember that with explosive ammo, your weapon will have 0 penetration. As for gas fixers, I wouldn't say that they are very effective, because gas fixer can be pretty hard to use, because you only have 1 gas, or 2 if you are using 1 for the road, but this means you are relying on supply bags. And essentially it is difficult to have all the teammates within the gas at the same time, and anyone who is not masked will be receiving the aggro of the zombies. So if you are looking at gas fixer, I would suggest you playing medic instead, because of the long range teams that are targeting your teammates, Whereas for a Fixer, if you want to support a teammate that's far away, you'll need to throw your Fixer grenades, and by that time they may have already ran out of the AoE. And then next we'll move on to Vanguard. Vanguard class also works for Extinction because the shield can help to counteract the Zeke Infection. And basically you can use your shield to block Juggernauts and Bulls and try to stall them while your teammates help you to clear them off. Or you can also make use of, say, Quick Hands and Center of Attention to keep the Bulls and Juggernauts in place while you clear them yourself with your shotgun or whichever primary you're using. Essentially, Vanguard is kind of like a frontline class where you're taking aggro from flanks or from Zeeks and specials, basically allowing your DPS classes the space to deal with the swarms and just trying to keep them alive as much as possible. But as a Vanguard class, because you don't have long range teams like the Medic class, being a support role, your positioning will be very important. You'll need to kind of position yourself closer to choke points or flanks so that you can get the aggro from the specials that spawns there. So positioning is key as Vanguard, but otherwise the shield itself is really strong, and yeah, pretty much counteracts the tankier specials and the Zeke Infections. And last but not least, we have the Slasher class. I wouldn't recommend the Slasher class because Zeke Infection can go through temp health, so even if you have Vigor or the temp health from the Tomahawk, you'll still get infected when you get hit. And considering how melee pushback is not very consistent, and as a Slasher class you are bound to get hit once in a while you're meleeing. Also, your stun gun doesn't work against Juggernauts, so yeah, essentially I wouldn't recommend Slasher at all. If you want to play a frontline or a tanky class, Vanguard is a safer and a better option. So we've basically gone through all the builds here, and essentially if I were to choose a squad of 4, I'd probably go for Gunslinger, because Gunslinger has impact nades for specials, you have the explosive secondary for specials, and you have frontline supply and a tier 2 shotgun for zombies and hordes. I will also go for Exterminator class, which has pretty good firepower for swarms and pyramids, claymores to cover flanks as well, which includes special spawns. You can weaken them with your fire, and then the Gunslinger can clear them off with, say, an impact nade or secondary explosive. So these are the 2 DPS classes that I'll probably go for. And for the other 2 classes, I think I'll go for 2 Dronemasters, and this essentially means the whole team will be covered from friendly fire, so you don't have to worry about crossfire, accidentally shooting your teammates, and your whole team will also be covered with this splasher perk, and you don't have to worry about getting infected from zombie hits. And you'll also be covered by the clear perk, so in case someone goes down and your teammate didn't notice the orange outline, they can revive themselves automatically with the drone. And having 2 Dronemasters with improved payload means any Juggernaut or Bull spawns will be cleared almost immediately. And the pistol, you'll be having 4 pistol drones, which will help to weaken and clear strays and flanks as well fairly easily. Yeah, so I would say that this is probably my go-to squad if I get to choose. Otherwise, you can also substitute 1 Dronemaster for a Medic class just for the long-range team support. Or you can have a Vanguard class in the mix as well, just as a tank. Yeah. So hopefully this video helps you get a better understanding of the Extinction difficulty and what classes and builds are more suited to deal with this challenge mode. And yeah, I hope this helps, and if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching and have a good one.